I want to begin this vlog by providing a quick overview of myself in the coaching context. I work within the higher education sector and so mainly coach university-aged athletes who compete in team sports such as hockey, rugby and rowing. Although it's my belief that your environment and individuals you work with should not influence your coaching and training philosophy, they will influence how you implement it. I've included training footage related to my current training philosophy. Colleagues and mentors of mine were the first to raise this topic of developing a coaching philosophy. Like most coaches, my initial interest in coaching very much revolved around the technicalities of S&C, such as programming methods and the best exercise selection for strength or power. It was made clear that developing a coaching philosophy is something integral to coach development, with researchers using clarity of coaching philosophies as a marker of coach experience. Benefits of this are twofold. Work by Gillum et al. Suggests that this will enable buy-in from coaches and athletes alike, while work from Bennett suggests that this may reduce confrontation between S&C coaches and sports coaches, as a clash with philosophies is often linked to disagreements between these populations. Previous reflection on my own coaching, experience and advice from mentors I've worked with or followed via online mediums have all contributed to my current philosophy. To keep in line with current guidance from the NSCA on coaching philosophy, I will present mine using their format for clarity. I've used short phrases which are then followed up by descriptions of the values and beliefs which these phrases summarize. Number 1 is be a good person. Respect those around you, greet your peers, look them in the eye, listen when spoken to, and be considerate of people's feelings. Number 2 is work hard. Your effort is the only thing you can control when it comes to training and competition. If you're here, work hard, and if you don't want to, don't show up. Number 3 is be professional. Turn up on time, wear appropriate kit, bring water or training snacks, ensure you are physically prepared to train, have goals and express these to the coach. Any training philosophy should also be embedded in science and then adapted based on your experience, environment and athlete in front of you. The more experience a coach has, the better they are able to adapt their philosophy dependent on these factors. Last year, while working as a consultant, I took a different approach to coaching which impacted my current training philosophy. By teaching each squatting pattern, hinge pattern, push and pull pattern, etc., as standalone skills, which all have related key points, I've witnessed a considerable change in how athletes I work with perceive training in the gym. Improvements in movement quality through the perception of the key movement patterns as skills rather than exercises has contributed to this. In the past, I have varied exercise selection in an effort to ensure engagement from the teams I coach. However, when a basketball player spends hours each week for their whole sporting career going through shooting drills, why should the same not apply when learning and practicing fundamental movement patterns? A second key philosophy of mine is to build strength from the center of the body outwards. I believe using isometrics to teach the development of tension and bracing, followed by stability and anti-movements, and finally rotational exercises in that order, enhances ability and enable transfer to more dynamic, sport-specific movements. Finally, an often underutilized method of training, plyometrics, is something I spent a considerable amount of time coaching and researching. My experience and that of coaches I look up to within the industry, such as Cal Dietz, Jonas Dodu, Joe DeFranco, is that this method of training is critical in transferring strength built on the weight room to the field of play. It is also a training method massively undertaught in undergraduate degrees and in CPD courses, which suggests it may be a method some coaches are not comfortable with, potentially due to a lack of understanding. I would describe my coaching style as inclusive and encouraging of reciprocal learning. This method essentially turns each of the athletes you work with into mini coaches, which, if taught correctly, can assist massively in settings where there is a high athlete-to-coach ratio. The inclusive style of coaching I adopt comes naturally to me, and this is due to my relaxed nature, which has pros and cons. A benefit of this is that I am able to reduce the anxiety those new to training may have when it comes to engaging in S&C. In my setting, this is key as simply retaining athletes in terms of attendance is a massive factor, and so creating an environment athletes want to be in is key to this. Opposed to this is the issue of discipline. This is something other experienced coaches, such as Gary Schofield, have highlighted as an issue they encountered early on in their career. I can relate to this, as one of the first challenges I faced early on in my career was how to discipline athletes I work with who are close in age or even older than myself. Striking a balance here is key to maintain a healthy coach-athlete relationship, and through the experience of Coach Schofield, the development of an environment where the athletes are held to high standards and values is key to developing discipline.